We now continue with the second part of our investigative piece on Wyoming water. Our state reporter Valeria Fugate talks to experts about what we can do to help with conservation efforts.
As we head into part 2 of our water series, we look at how the state is investing in water infrastructure, water project priorities, and how riparian and forage areas could help the future of our water. The Bureau of Reclamation is investing $8.3 billion over 5 years in projects. Those projects include water purification, recycling, storage, desalination, drought resilience, and dam safety.
And keep system modernized or bring them, really modernize them now in the case of agricultural systems, because they're all, a century old at this point and need a lot of upgrade.
Yet dams and reservoir projects have been capped from the 1980s to the 2000s.
Again, we know we're short on funding for water throughout the state, and it's a finite resource, state funding, so we need to figure out how to stretch those dollars further. And the most apparent option to do that would be to partner up with the federal government.
The Federal Inflation Reduction Act is also investing $4.6 billion to address the historic drought.
And a lot of small towns in Wyoming are agriculturally based, so if you don't have that revenue coming in through the ag sector, your small towns throughout Wyoming suffers.
As with any resource, concerns about water rights and the potential of privatization or commodifying water are there.
That is a keen focus of mine, is not to allow a speculative money grab on our water.
The state engineer says that according to Wyoming statutes, it will remain a public good. The Water Development Office Director says privatization would have negative consequences, raising rates and cutting costs at the expense of quality and safety. Mead suggests focusing instead on long-term conservation, irrigation efficiencies, and leveraging federal funding through the Inflation Reduction Act.
We can do the same, if not more, with less water into the future and keep everybody profitable.
Even though we've had a water-rich winter, Ken Hamilton, Executive Vice President of the Wyoming Farm Bureau Federation, says the long-term drought is forcing water rights and water compact systems to kick in. Counties like Sublette potentially could face water curtailments to fulfill obligations to downstream states. Yet experts say irrigation for ag serves a dual purpose during winter months.
Systems we have in place to help livestock also provide a big benefit for wildlife.
Without the forage irrigation helps create, ranchers will need to depopulate their livestock or ship herds elsewhere at a premium. Sussex says water shortages end up in consumer pockets with higher priced beef.
Hopefully that we can figure out a way to continue to produce beef at an affordable price, but it gets more difficult all the time. So we'll see.
Many experts have said that water is the new gold, but in our state, water may mean the difference between keeping our Wyoming way of life.